welcome back to Quantum Black, the kind of in-between episode with the Doctor, Dr. Desdemona. When last we saw the Doctor on stream, we were finishing up the Las Vegas, the Salamander stim, and the party went to Florida. Many things happened in Florida off-screen, including the Vortex Whirlpool being closed, the party going to Disney World, an attack on Zigzag's bot, which is still an ongoing thing. But the Doctor never went to Disney World. We see him leaving the team with Zigzag to head over to Georgia to a Quantum Black facility not too far away, so he can have his own version of rest and recuperation, his R&R. And I'm gonna pass it over to the doc in case you want to add anything in there. I won't go into all the juicy details yet, but anything you want to throw in since the last time, since the Salamander stim?
Nothing that I can really think of off the top of my head. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've made the formula for the that I've given to QB for mass production.
That is correct.
It's level of field testing redacted.
So, here you are in the private medical facility that Quantum Black kind of co-operates. It's a public hospital on one half, and the other half is a Quantum Black reserve facility that they've obviously donated a large amount of money to this building to be able to have a QIT ward, though it's mostly reserved for their Black Ops with Quantum Black. And so the Doctor, you are here. Mission Control sends you a notification that they have an urgent patient from Quantum Black Mission Control, or not Mission Control, sorry, from the board at QIT, being sent to you. He's been attacked very recently, was able to fight off his attacker, but he has life-threatening injuries, and he's being helivaced to you as we speak. And the Doctor, already being kind of in the hospital, doing what he does best for the greater good of the community. What do you do?
So receiving the information that, the chairman's on his way, and the level of importance of everything, Ambrose would start getting everything he can, prepared. He would, inform the staff to, get a room close to the helipad, prepared for, a possible operation, and, to essentially leave that section of the hospital.
Okay, so everything is kind of streamlined, ready for him to be received, and sure enough, the helicopter seems to be coming in at a very fast clip. It is not a hospital helicopter or Red Cross or anything like that. It is a Quantum Black little bird, open sides, and you can see that there's two Quantum Black agents kind of hanging off the sides with rifles as he's been picked up by a local team and is being dropped off to you urgently. As soon as it touches down, he's moved over onto a stretcher, and you're able to have him wheeled into the operating room as you desire. You can see that he has what looks to be like a knife wound in his stomach, his abdomen, and even though they've put gauze in there, they try to pack the wound. They have one of those seals over his belly. You can see that the blood is still kind of spilling out around the edges, and he seems in and out of consciousness. You can see from the token, he's kind of an older man, not super old, but middle-aged to old, dressed in a suit, minus the suit jacket. They pulled that off and stuff. His tie's all loose and kind of tucked away out of the way of his chest, and his white shirt, stained red, is all kind of pulled open and the buttons all broken, and that's the condition you get him.
So, something we forgot to go over is, in the meantime, like, while the staff is, like, getting the operation room, like, set up,
Hmm.
he's kind of raiding the pharmaceuticals and, like, whipping some, cocktails together. Um, yeah, as soon as Mr. gets there, um, Ambrose would help him onto the like operation table and stuff, out of speed, not necessarily kindness.
Yeah.
Um, and then once he gets him on the table, he'll start removing the clothing and whatnot.
Hmm.
And we'll look at Mr. Glinton, and as he's like setting up the IV and whatnot, and be like, Mr. I will be making sure you survive this day. You will see your family soon. I would like to make sure your attacker does not. I need your help to make sure this happens before they get a chance to make any further blunders. I'm sure you can understand. Ambrose would then start like getting his surgical tools together.
And he's conscious enough to like hear you, but he's not answering. He's just groaning, like trying to twist and turn, uncomfortable from the wound. But he hears you, but he doesn't,
Right.
not in a place to like really respond.
As soon as I have the IV set up, I would actually start pumping him full of my personal anesthetic that, as you know,
He has that feeling of not deadness, but kind of it's a surreal experience as kind of the feeling, the numbness kind of sets in, and he stops squirming and kind of like his eyes kind of flutter open as the pain subsides, and he has this weird state of mind where he's wounded, he's bleeding, he's injured, but he doesn't feel anything, and he kind of realizes this is not normal, and he kind of looks up to you with kind of his glasses are off at this point, but he's like, "You're the one they call the doctor."
that I am. That I am.
So he's coherent now. The pain's gone. He's basically sitting at like 0 hit points, which is that zone where you can either move or attack or do nothing. He needs, yeah.
Okay, I will, hook him up onto the IV, like a blood pack to kind of replace some of the blood that he's losing, so he doesn't like just bleed out. And then I will add another chemical to that, one that essentially, as it enters his veins, like neurons fire off, and every memory since birth just like come rushing back with like photo perfect clarity.
So this is going to be a sanity roll for him. Okay, so he is able to kind of maintain control, but his eyes kind of like open wide as all of these memories, his perfect recall kind of kicks in for him, and everything that he's experienced up to this point, he has absolute clarity on. And he passed his sanity just barely, so he's not like freaking out from that.
The doctor will look at him, not with kind eyes, of course. I know your mind is aflame with clarity and thoughts, but I need you to focus on your attacker. You clearly saw them. He will start introducing the truth serum into the IV bag, unbeknownst to our chairman around this time.
Okay. So that takes effect. He is not able to resist it via IV, and he is now at your mercy, if you will.
I will free one of his hands. I will ask him what his predominant hand is.
Right hand.
I will free his right hand and give him like a pad and like a pen. And I'll be like, if you're not very good at drawing, you might want to write down whatever details that you can clearly remember of your attacker. In the meantime, I will do everything I can to make sure that you can see your family again. And he'll start operating on him.
Okay. Roll a perception check. If you also want, you can roll an empathy, but I think the perception's going to be sufficient. So for Mr. He's breathing heavily, and there's kind of notepad that has been brought to him. He's trying to jot down like bullet points of everything that Walt's totally recalled in his memory, who his attacker was. In fact, he begins to try to start sketching it out, and he is depicting a man, kind of middle-aged, wearing a suit as well, a suit and tie. And when he gets to the face, and it almost looks like he's drawing in sunglasses at first, but you can see as the drawing begins to take shape that it's not. And you recognize it immediately from the drawing, even though it's crude. It looks a lot like. But after he finishes this drawing, he's there's more to it than this, though. You have to listen to me. And then he begins to like squirm again. He's like, no, there's something moving. You, Doctor, you have to save me. You must save me. And he looks down, and with a 4 perception, you can see a little trail of skin kind of shift, not where the knife wound is, but next to it, off to the left side of the rib cage, and then it kind of bubbles up a little bit and moves upwards.
Yeah, I will do whatever I can to extract whatever that is. While I still have him, I'm going to ask him why Wiz would want him dead.
I saw. Get this out of me first. Ensure that I live, Desdemona, and I will tell you. And then he doesn't scream with pain because he's numb because of that, but you can see his mental abilities. I mean, actually, he needs to roll sanity for this one because he's aware very much of what's going on, and that is not enough. And he's beginning to. He loses only 1 point of sanity, but that's still for the time where he's at, strapped down with one hand and can't really move, and he's aware that something's crawling up towards his heart. He begins to panic a little bit and kind of shake. He drops the pen and the clipboard falls off, and tries to like scratch at his chest. What does the doctor do?
The doctor will like try to like quickly like put his arm back into the harness so that he like doesn't like disturb the doctor's attempts to like help this guy,
Yeah. So for this, just roll raw strength versus him because he's like flailing. He does have a penalty because of his strength, being one-handed. But he's trying to. Yeah.
I rolled a perfect roll. I've never rolled a perfect roll like that. That's never happened.
I will give you a style point because that's cool. How does the doctor feel about seeing this kind of? You can imagine like that skin bubble moving around underneath. Have you seen anything like this before?
I'm not sure. Like, I know personally, like, that would freak me out quite a lot, but, like, I don't know how the doctor would react to that.
Go ahead and roll a sanity as the doctor. It won't be as hard because you're not the body it's in, but it's still, like, very unsettling.
1, yeah.
Okay. So, you lose 2 sanity from that, which doesn't put you down, I don't think, because you're back to full after yesterday.
Right.
But yeah, you realize that this is really messed up, whatever the case is. But you've secured him, and he's just panicking now, panting, looking up at you, and he's like, Desdemona, you must save me.
I'm gonna try to like intercept whatever it is, like by like cutting in front of where it's bubbling to, so that like maybe I can like get to it and like get it out.
Okay. This is going to be a medicine roll. This is plain medicine, not going to be because it's basically like a heal check. So you don't get the synergies with like the other stuff because it's more of a combat medicine roll, if that makes any sense.
Would I still get the bonus from physiology? So, like
knowing where to make the incisions. Yeah, I'll give you that one at least.
Right.
Yeah, you can have the +2 for that.
Okay. 8.
Okay. So you, with shaking hands a little bit, or maybe not, they're not shaking, you're just unnerved. You cut open a big piece of skin and kind of pull it away just enough to see something slimy and red, covered with body fluids, but metal underneath, some sort of robotic, kind of squirming around. It almost looks like a scarab or a beetle or maybe a shrimp. But it's definitely like weaving its way through the chairman's underskin. But it is now exposed.
Alright, I'm gonna try to grab some tongs or something that I can stick in there and get it out.
Okay. Roll a second medicine check. Same way. Or hold on, I'm trying to think what I would do for this. Just keep going with the medicine. Medicine with your synergy still.
Okay.
And this is its second. Okay. So the little almost shrimp looking thing, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like as you pinch it.
I'm imagining that exact scene from that. Yes.
So it pulls its way up out of the flesh and kind of scurries along his belly back towards you and almost tries to jump at you, which I would have done next round. But you pinch it with the tongs. It is now captured in your grasp. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm putting that in a specimen containment, fucking jar of some kind.
Okay, yep, you can put it inside of the jar. You drop it in, screw it closed. Mr. is just breathing and panting. He is so unnerved. Did you get it, Doctor?
I got at least one. He's gonna immediately try to fucking get this guy an X-ray or something, because he's paranoid that there might be something else. He wants to make sure that there's nothing else.
So as you begin to prep for that, roll a perception as the doctor kind of leans back and seems to be calming a little bit, feeling that he's now once again in safe hands and you are going to be able to take care of him. As promised, Doctor.
I would like to add a style point to this, because I'm absolutely paranoid about that.
Okay. Fracturing of glass. As you notice, turning around, the little scarab probe thing is trying to burrow its way through the jar, and it does fracture, but it does not break with only a 3. It's designed to burrow into perhaps more flesh and bone than glass.
Is there something that seems to be made like a metal Q-tip jar or something that seems a little bit more able to hold this thing than a glass jar in the room?
You are in a medical facility. Yes, there is.
Yeah, whatever thing I can find that I feel I can just throw the glass jar into and contain it, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Okay. With that, you basically lock it away. It is gonna be down here now. For perception, you probably turn back to the X-ray and try to get him scanned, do an MRI, whatever the case. You find there is no more probes inside of him. And as he comes out, is there anything?
Oh, no. That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay. So you pull him down, back out of the thing, and you tell him the results are negative. He's clean, and he's like, oh my God, So, as I promised, I arranged to meet with Wind Intelligence Systems, following the reports of what's happened in New York. I wanted to see what was going on, and so I brokered a meeting, and in that meeting, this is the result. I did speak with their chairman, or their president, Duncan Rhodes, and I learned of some things that are going on in there, perhaps more than I should, and hence this is the result. I think they sent this assassin after me, maybe not with exact intent to kill me, but it rose to that. I shot him back, and that's when he stabbed me. But he did get away. I tried my best to draw the sketch, but he's like a Borg. And that's not the only thing. Give me the notepad, Doctor.
I will give him back the notepad.
He begins to sketch. There's something else at Wiz. It's not just their AI that they've made. They call it the UBiz software, but it's how they're designing these robotics, these security and soldier bots. They're supposed to be coming out with multiple variants over the next couple years, but I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see. This is the best that I can do, is to sketch this as in my memory, and that's all. And he draws this out. And as you look at this depiction of some thing, I'll have you roll another sanity check. Okay. That is enough for this drawing. So the Doctor, you pick it up, look at it. It doesn't convey it well, but it's like a robot with flesh. And like I said, the man who attacked me, he was a Borg, a cyborg. One of his eyes was like those robots. But this is something else entirely. This is...
The doc will look at the picture and look at the chairman and kind of just take it in for a second. I would like to roll a raw intelligence to jump to conclusions.
It's hard to say exactly what it is, but you're welcome to make conclusions.
I think the Doctor, is smart enough to realize that whatever it is fucking bad news bears. But, also that it's, outside of his world, you know what I mean? It's not, something that, he would be, in knowledge of. So, his first instinct would be, he needs to, get this to Morthos so that Morthos can take a look at it and have some kind of more educated guess in the more occult circles that is beyond his world, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He will fold up the picture and put it in his pocket and look at the chairman and be we might need to warn other, members of the board that, it might be a good time to maybe, go underground for a little bit or something. That if, Wiz can get to you, they can get to any of them.
Well, it's my own fault for reaching out to them in the first place. I thought maybe we could come to some form of agreement. Patch me up, Doc. I'm gonna take an extended leave with my family. I'm thinking the lakes in Italy sound quite nice right now. Eventually, the serum wears off, the drugs wear off, the pain returns to him, but you've already finished the healing, and he's able to kind of rise up. He's given a cane where he can lean on as he heads out, and that Quantum Black helicopter's still up there on the roof, waiting. And as you kind of accompany him back up to the roof, it's at this point now dusk in the city. The Georgian landscape, kind of as you look out, is quite beautiful as you see the sunrise, though perhaps the doc doesn't care, as more important things occur, such as the chairman thanking you, personally offering you his assistance with anything should you need it, as well as those of his friends and compatriots. He boards the helicopter where the Spider team, which has been on call, which had ferried him over here, they kind of give you a nod through their visors, rifles up, what the chairman board, and the helicopter takes off. And we see the doctor standing at the helipad at the top of the hospital. And we fade to black.
This is definitely something that I would like to be redacted.